Welcome. Thank you so much for showing up and joining us today. If this message has found you, it's definitely a word meant for you. There's no such thing as coincidence, as we like to say. That's the way how our Father, our God, stays anonymous in our lives. So today's message is fertile ground. At this time, there's this strong sense of fruition. It's a sense of this knowing, I should say, that it's time to come forward. You're being called, you're ready to be presented, you are aware what your gifts are, you're aware what God has called you to do, and you're being asked to step forward. So at this time, there is fertile ground for what that may be in your life. This does not look the same. For some people, it might be they're stepping forward in their work, and some people they're stepping forward in a self-owned business. For some people, they might be stepping forward in a new location, right? They might be stepping forward in a deeper relationship, right? Maybe the birth of a child, or maybe a new marriage. For some people, it might be fertile ground of a new relationship. So this is definitely the message that's coming forth. It's a season, it's a time where you have already done the reflection, you already done like take an inventory of what has happened within the past year, what has shown up in your life, most recently letting go or losing some very intricate parts of you that maybe at one point you never believe you would lose, and now you're feeling this knowing, this calling, this urge within you to bring something forth, but not quite in a sense of it sprouting, if you will, but more on the planting, on the planning, more on the visualizing it, more of claiming it in your life, who you're stepping forward to be. And this can be, again, something that can be as small as going to the gym, could be as small as working out, right? Because it could also be fertile ground to build a stronger relationship with yourself. It could be fertile ground for a stronger relationship with you and others. It could be any vast of meaning depending on what your walk is individually. The point is, you are definitely being given fertile ground. Here it is, blank canvas, fertile ground. What are you going to plant here? That is the message. So for example, and I always go with relationship and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. So in the morning, I normally do, as always, my devotional. Here I am, 4:30 in the morning and all this good stuff. And I spend this quality time with God. And, I think I shared a couple of times, like I'm open to see what God will present to me in all areas of my life. And here it is, the best example, the best metaphor that I could bring forth when it comes to this fertile ground is, you get to take accountability of what you place in that, whatever that fertile ground is. Again, so if we're looking at, for example, just to make it clear, a relationship. So here you are coming together with a new person, a new individual. You don't really know right much of them, but you're open, they're open. That means you're willing to give and receive. They're willing to give and receive. But most importantly, you both understanding that we are always continuously growing, we're always continuously evolving, and therefore there's going to be changes, there's going to be things that we're still working through, right? Because we've done all this work, right? When you're taking inventory of all these years, all this time that you've been showing up, all these times that you've been surrendering to God, each time it goes deeper and deeper, right? Because deeper the roots, the higher the tree, I like to think, right? Kind of like that sequoia tree I always bring up, because when I went to see them, they're just so magnificent. But in any case, so here you are, there's things, right? Because you are wonderfully and perfectly made. You're already whole and complete as you are right now. And yet there's still an evolution that's taking place within you that shows in the outer space of you, right? That people get to witness and stuff like that. So again, going back to this fertile soil, here you are, maybe, like I said, the example, people tend to really connect more with relationships. So I go to that. it's a blank canvas, and at this time you're being asked to pay attention what role you play within this fertile soil. What are you going to plant? And sometimes it can be subtle. So for example, you might be in conversation with someone, right? You're not even quite in a relationship yet, and within that exchange there's some sort of words and stuff that are being planted, right? How do you see this person? How do you perceive this person? And you're building, right? It's a season of creating. You're literally creating, you're literally bringing stuff to fruition. But right now it's like when you're getting all those ingredients ready, right? When you're gonna bake a cake, you're getting the flour and the sugars and the butters and all this stuff, right? So here we are, it's the same thing. Fertile soil, plant a blank canvas. So let's say, for example, what I saw, and I'm gonna go straight with what I received, was, let's say you're in this two party, right, exchange, polarity deal, and let's say you're pouring in love, like you're telling this person, you're encouraging them, you're bringing them up, like, wow, you're doing so much, I'm so proud of you, I hope you see all the work you're doing, like, I don't know how you do it, and you bring all these encouraging words, and you also remind them that that it's okay to rest, that they're worthy of enjoying themselves, to make sure they have a good balance. The point is, you're being nurturing, right? And these are the seeds that you're planting. You're being truthful, you're being honest, you're being transparent, you're being vulnerable, right? These are all being planted. Yep, she's honest, she's vulnerable, she's transparent, she takes accountability for the role she's played in her past. Obviously she's not perfect, she understands that, she's nurturing, she shows up, she has a safe space. You get to also observe, right? Because if you're in the receiving end, right, because if this is you planting all these things, you get to observe, what is this individual and this exchange bringing into this fertile soil. So again, for example, let's say this person, like, okay, they say they believe in you, that let's say they say they see, they can see that for you, they can see where you're going, and right, they're encouraging you, they say go for it, shine, go forward, and all that stuff. You also get to observe, right, and use your discernment of the things that are coming up, that are being planted in that fertile soil. So let's say, for example, they all of a sudden, they, right, because we're imperfect, and that's okay, and let's say they say something like, what's wrong with you right now, that's being planted. Let's say they say something like, you're weird, right? Let's say they say something like, just things like, I can't even think, because I don't really use those terminologies a lot, or at all, really. Anyway, so they get planted. Here's the fertile soil. Now what happens is, as you're in this new canvas, as you are right now in the moment of creation, whether it's you or the person, in any case, right, you're planting all this healthy, positive foundation. It's a foundation for your fertile soil. But then you have this one where those weeds that are being planted, you have one or two things. Either the consequences is going to happen is, you don't address it, you let it fester, and with time you don't get to determine when these little seeds that have been planted in this garden of what is your relationship with this person, this fertile soil, it will sprout. Not in the moment, like maybe in that moment you brushed it off when they said, oh, what's wrong with you? But then let's say 6 months down the line, and I don't know, you're cooking with the person or something like that, and then something's, you made a mistake while cooking. All of a sudden you hear in the back of your head, or maybe they say it again, right? Like, what's wrong with you? You hear it again, and now it's being watered. Now that wheat is being watered, so it's gaining more momentum, it's gaining more power, and then a year goes by, right? Or even less, it doesn't matter. And all of a sudden this goes full on out, and now within that exchange, within that canvas, within that garden of this fertile soil, all of a sudden now this wheat has spread, and now it can create chaos within that soil that you're trying to build this new foundation with this individual with. So what's being shown, and I hope this is making sense, I pray it is, and thank you for those that have been still listening so far. The other option you have is part of building in a fertile soil strong foundation, right? That cornerstone foundation is having those difficult conversations in a respectful way. So when you see that show up, listen to your body, right? Listen what is bringing discomfort, even if it doesn't make any sense. And in that moment, you pull. This is how you pull the wheat. This is how you rip that wheat out, and you address it within that fertile soil, and you say, I know you didn't mean anything by it, but in any case, like, this is how it's making me feel. This is how it's affecting me. This is how it can sabotage the connection that we're trying to build here. And I don't think this is something that's going to help us grow or help us connect better, or it's going to serve any of us. So, you can say how it could be reframed, or what's a better way of expressing that, right? Because a lot of us don't know any better. And we don't know unless it's shown, and we can't read your mind, right? And you can't assume we know what you know, because what might seem as common sense to one, it's never the common sense to someone else. So that's what keeps coming up when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to fertile soil. I'm also getting it when it comes to businesses and your relationship, your balanced relationship with peace of mind and your finance. Is, again, you're getting this fertile soil at this time where you get to plant the seeds that you want to see, what you're bringing into fruition with the help and the guidance of our Father, our Creator at this time. This is what I'm receiving strongly at this time is, where or what do you want to see? What do you want to pursue? What is that inner knowing, inner calling that you have been putting a pause to for so long, that now you can take a small action towards, right? 1 millimeter shift is what they say is all it takes, right? 1 millimeter shift, even if you shift it a little bit, with time, it will continue to progress, right? Because you did that shift. And it's going to keep that trajectory as long as you remain consistent. How do you remain consistent? Get comfortable with being disciplined. Get comfortable with the idea that even when you don't feel like it, you do it, right? And that could go not only in the business, with the relationship, right? Even if you don't feel comfortable having that difficult, uncomfortable conversation, it is needed, because it's a reflection of how much I value you, how much I respect you, how much this matters to me, that it's way bigger than that silly little perceived problem, right? It's not you against me. It's us addressing this thing here, which is always temporary, right? Because it never stays hard forever. It will slow down, soften, all that good stuff. So you get to do that. So I just needed to point that out there. It goes either with the relationship or the business. But at this time, you're definitely being called to pursue your calling that God has placed in you unapologetically. and it's time to show up, shine through, rejoice in the process, and stay consistent, stay disciplined. Stay in gratitude. Gratitude will get you there. So fertile soil, I'm hearing it. I'm receiving it. It is loud and clear. It is yours to take if you are willing to do the work. That's all it takes. You get to do the work. It's a privilege to do the work and surrender to God at this time. So fertile soil, for all of you who've received this, you know exactly what you need to do next. Give it to God. Surrender. If you're feeling to do a fast, I'm currently in a fast, do that as well, to receive the guidance that He is ready to give you. He is just waiting on you. Fertile soil, fruition, better things, wonderful things are already here. And with that being said, guys, if you feel led to share this with a friend, if this resonated with you, if you receive this message, just make sure to, if you haven't done it yet, to click like, subscribe to the channel, or as I said, share it to someone that they might need this word as well. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye.